Welcome to Go Behind the Ballot, a podcast where two Texas moms go on an educational quest to demystify Texas politics. Join me, Nichole Abshire, and my co-host Claire Campos O'Neill as we deep dive into the most burning issues, hear stories from candidates, and offer hope in these challenging political times. Let's saddle up and go behind the ballot.
Hi, y'all. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Go Behind the Ballot. I'm Claire Campos O'Neill.
And I am Nichole Abshire.
And thank you for tuning in to our mini episode. And this is where we will be looking forward to 2023 and all the wonderful things it's going to bring. We're going to put out that hope that it will be a wonderful year and that optimism because, yes, it will. It's time. We are due a good year, right, Nichole?
Oh my gosh, aren't we though? I mean, come on. I noticed that positive energy. Yes, that you just put right out there. Let's make it happen.
I'm ready. Ish.
Yes.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great, guys. Smile, smile. So for this episode, we are going to share the top 3 things that we are looking forward to in the next year. And it will give you a little bit of a sneak peek on what to expect in this show and in life, just what's going on with us. So Nichole, what is well, it's not really your top thing, but what is one thing that you're looking forward to in 2023?
Well, coming up soon, actually, I am looking forward to understanding what's happening in this 88th legislative session. In the past, I will fully confess that I have not really paid much attention to the sessions. I will, kind of hear something out of the corner of my ear, if that's such a thing. And typically I will have heard about that thing because it has outraged somebody and I'll kind of feel that outrage, but not even be totally sure why I'm outraged. But, I have that sort of feeling in the past about the sessions. But this time I feel like it's going to be different. I'm going to have a much, I hope, calmer response and reaction because I'll feel like at the very least I'll understand some of the underlying issues of what is being debated and what legislation is being proposed. And I still have a lot to learn about kind of the procedures of the way that bills move around in committees and all of that stuff, but I do have more of an understanding than before. So I am looking forward to a less sort of chaotic feeling about the legislative session and one that is calmer, a little better understood. And I also feel like I'll know the right questions to ask and the right research to do, and also the right people to turn to for some of those answers. So
that's a great one. I'm going to borrow it because that was on my list as well. I'm also looking forward to the next legislative session. I'm looking forward to it for a lot of the same similar reasons, but also because we've developed relationships with advocates and advocacy groups. So I feel like we'll have a better sense of how to help out if we can and how to share that with our audience so that y'all know some real ways that you can get involved if you're local who knows where you are? But if you're in Austin and you're like, I want to go advocate, here you go. We're going to give you some ideas and things to put on your calendar. I think that just helps a lot to be on the newsletter for some of the groups that we've mentioned in the show, like Texas Gun Sense. And when we talked to Nicole Golden, she shared that they're going to have a day of action at the Capitol. And some of the other folks who I don't know why she's the only one coming to mind, but there's been other great people we've spoken to. I'm Representative Vicki Goodwin. If we're in the Capitol, we can go by her office and say hello. And we have that relationship now to say, how can we be of service? How can we help? What stories can we share? I think about our conversation with Pam Bixby from the League of Women Voters. She's local to Austin, and she said a lot of times she's called upon to go testify. So we can do that. Yes. We, me, you, Nichole, everybody can be part of that moving and shaking that happens at the Capitol.
Laura Subrin Yeager.
Yes. Yes. With public
she's
education.
Tracking it all. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And our stories matter. Don't underestimate the power of storytelling. If you've had an incident that you think someone should hear and should do something about it, share it, write it down. Like there's a way to communicate that to people who are making decisions about these things. So we're going to find out together how we do that.
And actually,
Change it.
Claire, this is a good moment to plug our social media because if you go to our Instagram and our TikTok, and perhaps it's other places too, but I can guarantee it is on Instagram and TikTok. Oh, surely on Facebook too. Everybody, you can see when Claire testified before the Public Education Committee. So you can see what it is like to go and testify before a committee. And I think it will really, if you were to feel nervous, I think it would calm your nerves and just give you a sense of what to expect.
Yes. And it is nerve wracking. I mean, I've done that a couple of times, and each time I'm like, oh God, what am I doing? But it gets a little bit easier. And I just shared my story, and we can all do that. We all have a unique experience that should be heard. It needs to be heard. So yeah, check it out. I did it. You can do it too. And if you don't know how, we'll help you, or we'll put you in touch with someone who knows how to help you. For example, Ash Hall, our fabulous guest who educated us on transgender issues, Ash does trainings for people who want to go testify. So there is a way to break it down and make it accessible, and we will help. Ask us if you need help. All right, let's move on to number 2. What do you have for number 2, Nichole? Number 2, looking forward to 2023.
Well, yes, it's a little vaguish, but and not Vegas, but just vague-ish, which is to see how we grow. I am excited to see how we respond to the things that we can't predict right now that might rise to the surface as, series that we might want to start, ways that maybe our community might reach out to us and that we feel inclined to respond to what that might do and offer for us in terms of our growth. So I'm excited about the mystery of that I think there are some things that are going to surprise us. And I like just kind of thinking about buckling in for the mystery of what will unfold for us.
That's a good one. Yeah. I think it is hard for a lot of us. I'm going to say for me to live in uncertainty. But there's something really, I don't know, exciting about it. Scary and exciting. I keep finding myself doing things that are scary and exciting. And I'm like, why? This doesn't feel good. But I'm like, oh, but it's so fun. So I like that.
Right. If you can embrace that, it's magical watching things unfold. So yes, that's what I want to lean into anyway, is the magical part, leaving space for that.
Yeah. Well, my number 2 is kind of in that similar vein. I'm really looking forward to the other series we're going to be doing. The new series we'll be doing in 2023. Something Nichole and I have talked about after our Culture War series is maybe doing something regarding women's health and discussing a lot of topics that come up over and over again in Texas, like the high maternal mortality rate that we have here in the state. Something that we have here in Texas that kind of makes no sense at all is a period tax. Period products like tampons, pads are taxed. And some legislators have tried to do away with this, like session after session. And for some reason, that bill always dies. And it's like, okay, let's figure out what that's all about. Conversations regarding food insecurity, which really impacts women, women with children. So there's a lot that we're really interested in further digging into. And then also probably circling back on, it was so funny. After we did our public education series, people would say, oh, you should talk to this person. You should talk to this person. And we were like, we should, but we're moving on to the next thing. But we'll come back. We'll come back one day. So I'm also excited to revisit familiar ground and see where that takes us.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah. Okay. So number 3, what's your number 3?
Well, anticipating what guests we're going to have, right? Because I was thinking about if 2022 is a good indicator, then we have so much to look forward to. We had an incredible slate of guests and people who I am so honored to have been able to have a conversation with. And I can't wait to see who shows up in 2023.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah. We've been very fortunate that people have said yes so freely. So you're right. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Okay, my number three is something we haven't planned it, but we're going to make it happen. And that is live events. We are going to have some sort of live events, multiple, don't know, but this is something Nichole and I have talked about, and I think it's on the horizon. I gotta stop. Like, I don't know. Like, no, it's gonna happen, right, Nichole?
Well, I like that you just put it out there because it is true. We have been sort of going back and forth a little bit, kind of ish. Like, I think both of us a little shy to fully commit. So you just did it, and that's great. Put it out there. It is
Yeah.
now out there.
I think it needs to happen. I think we're getting to that place where it would be really exciting to meet up with some of y'all and hear more about how you want to get more involved in Texas politics, what you want to understand better, how we can help make that happen, and how we can learn from each other. Because we don't know everything. Yeah, right. But we can learn from each other and figure this system out. So I think having that one-on-one, like being in the room, excitement, energy is the next step that's going to happen.
Love it. Put it out there just like that.
It's going to be wonderful. Well, thank you for listening, everyone. Please tell us what you're looking forward to in 2023. Put it out there. I'm learning that the more you talk about things, the more it's like, oh man, like it's real. It's gonna happen. It has to happen. So I don't know. Just getting it out of your head and into your mouth and out into the world really does do something. So it's okay to be scared, but we will encourage you to take that first step and see where you end up. Probably somewhere great.
I mean, right? Either way, I have learned in my life that something positive comes out of it. You know, it doesn't always have to land perfectly, but I certainly learned something along the way. And there's always something positive that comes out of it.
That's right. Yes, yes. Yes, I've never regretted being brave.
Oh, gosh, right? No.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to do it together. All right. Well, thank you for listening. We will chat with y'all soon.
Thank you, everybody, for joining me, Nichole Abshire, and my co-host, Claire Campos O'Neill, on Go Behind the Ballot. Hopefully, we've demystified some little portion of Texas politics, and we hope that you'll do more with us. Check out our website at www.gobehindtheballot.com, where you'll find links to all of our social media, and you will find our community. Let's join together and do more. We hope you'll let us know what is working, and we hope you'll join us next week. Thanks, everybody, and have a good one.